Guys, in this video, I'm gonna explain you why not doing anything when you have a service business on the long term is the most expensive option. And I'm talking about model migration, okay? I will recommend you to stay until the end of this video so you can really understand what I'm trying to explain with this. Because it can really change your business completely and you will be able not only to grow faster, but with much less stress and time from you. 1 year, I recently launched the fifth app and now I'm about to launch the sixth one. I've created a process that lets me test applications in just a couple of weeks so I can start creating apps that are really aligned with an audience. So why doing nothing is the most expensive option? In service businesses, the thing that happens is that revenue can grow where stress grows faster. And I'm telling you this because I already had a marketing agency and I already went through this. The thing is that the founder remains the bottleneck, okay? The most common mistake or state isn't failure, it's doing nothing. And that state carries the highest long-term opportunity costs. Because often when things are going well, don't you don't realize, but you are more and more and more dependent on your service. Your service depends on you. And the more it depends on you, the easier it is for your service to break completely. And not only your service, your business. So I believe the best way to escape from this is to create long-term assets. This is the illusion of stability, okay? The most dangerous phase in a service business is in chaos. It's comfort. When you are doing solid revenue, clients renew, the team performs, and cash flow is predictable, it feels stable. So changing anything feels unnecessary. But I want you to answer this. If you stepped away for 60 days, would the quality of outcomes remain the same or it would drop? If not, if the answer is no, you don't have stability, you have centralized judgment, and your business isn't fragile, it's dependent. And dependence, looks like control, but a control is not leverage. Doing nothing feels responsible because you're not burning capital, you're not distracting the team, you're not risking failure, but something is still compounding. Every quarter, without a structural change, operational complexity increases, internal knowledge concentrates, margin stays tied to headcount, and you remain the escalation point. And that's the biggest problem. That you are the escalation point. You are the one that takes all the decisions at the company. So the risk isn't that you lose what you built. The risk is that you entrench it. Okay, 5 years from now, you're larger but structurally identical. If your service survived, if your business survived the escalation point. At this point, a lot of founders, okay, a lot of people start thinking about building a software as a service, but they start with feature lists, roadmaps, MVP discussions, development agencies, and that's not leverage. That's ambition without compression. Because in your case, if you have a service business, software as a service is not innovation, it's extraction. It's a completely different approach and a completely different path from the person that is starting from scratch. Because you already validate the demand, you already solve the problem, you already get paid for it. So the question is not what should we build? The question is what are we repeatedly solving that should no longer require us? So you don't need a new idea. You need to identify repeated economic friction. You need to ask yourself, what decisions do I personally make dozens of times a month? What part of delivery has minimal variation? Where does revenue grow but profit flattens? What recurring friction have we manually solved hundreds of times? That's uncompressed value. That's your candidate. Not the you don't need to productize the entire service. Okay, that's a mistake. That's an error because not all parts of your business are worth becoming them a software as a service application. So I will show you the steps that you can follow. So first of all, escape the mental trap of not doing anything and solve the escalation in your business. But first, I want to remind you that if you want me to help you remove the sale from your service or your business by converting part of your service or your business into a software as a service application, the only thing that you need to do is booking a call with me, I will leave you the link on the comments section. Now, this is not a pivot, it's a migration, okay? So the first phase is identifying economic friction. Look for where your judgment directly affects outcomes. The things that are repetitive, okay, in your business and structurally heavy. Then you isolate the core, okay? You isolate the core sequence of decisions that produces most of the results, okay? 70 or 80% of the results. If you already know the Pareto rule, okay, that 80% of your results come from 20% of your efforts, pay attention to that in your business. Now, on phase 3 and 4, these are the final ones. You structure it manually if you want, or you can do like a semi-automated version of the software as a service, and you use it with real clients. If it improves speed, consistency, and predictability, you have signal. If it still depends entirely on your live intervention, maybe it's not ready yet, okay? The only thing that software should do is encode clarity. On step 4 or phase 4, you compress with the software. And here the KPI is not necessarily revenue, okay? Of course, you will be making money, but it's reduction of founder dependence. That's the thing that we are focusing on. Always remember that money follows structure. So in conclusion, you start by detecting repeated economic friction. You isolate core value mechanism, you structure manually, and you validate, you compress with software, you measure dependency reduction, and you scale what survives without you. Always remember, the larger the service becomes, the harder migration gets because you have more complex systems, and then it's more difficult to turn that into a software as a service application. So if you are, let's say, between 20 to 50K in monthly recurring revenue, I would recommend you to do it now, because doing nothing doesn't preserve stability, it preserves dependence. You have, let's say, 2 or 3 options. You can do nothing and you will stay in the same place. You can do it by yourself, but you will need to learn a lot of different things because it's not as easy as it sounds to build a software as a service. Or you can take the easiest possible path, that is booking a call with me. I leave it up to you. In one way or another, thank you very much for watching. You can subscribe, you can hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell so you don't lose the upcoming videos. Once again, thank you, and I hope to see you on the next video.